What up, Dokkaners? Now that I've had some time to process and digest these new heroes units, I'm going to be explaining how I built all of their hidden potentials in this video. This is the second time that I'm going to be doing this because the first time actually happened within the videos that I did for these characters. And what's funny is that I actually received several comments in these videos, like for Rose, for example. I did a first look video for Rose. I got some comments saying, so how do you build a Rose? Even though I literally said how I built him in the video. Same goes for the Vegito and so on. So I'm going to do this again for you guys to answer all of your questions. If you're curious how I built these characters, if you have some doubts on maybe how you've built them, maybe they're different from mine, hopefully this video will be informative to you. I also tweeted this out yesterday on Twitter, so if you already saw that, then you already basically know how I'm going to be building these characters. Let's start with, actually, you know what? I didn't cover Lags. Lags is full dodge. I gave Lags full dodge and then balance additional. I'll just tell you that. So let's just start, we'll start from the top here. We'll just work our way down. So we're going to go from Janemba, work our way down to Freaky Toa. So Janemba, this guy is, I'm going to go real quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on each unit because then it'll be like a 30-minute video. So you already know how the unit works, but basically this guy has a multiplicative super on the attack and defense side for 3 turns. So my goal is to optimize the amount of stat growth that he can do as much as possible. That's priority number 1 for me. When you combine defense growth with a full guard situation, because he does have guard, I want that to be how he can defend himself. Maximum defense within 3 turns combined with guaranteed guard is probably going to be a great way for him to survive, and then also dodge. So I prioritized additional and then balanced dodge because critical is already taken care of in the unit. So Janemba, max additional, balanced dodge. That's what I did. Then for Golden Meta Cooler, we have max dodge and balance additional. Max dodge just because this unit is a damage reducing unit, but dodge is basically 100% damage reduction. So if you're in a situation where this unit doesn't get to greatly raise attack and defense once, maybe twice with your additional, maybe you're getting hit with an AoE, maybe your unit is unfortunately sealed due to your health being below 20%, you will have no recourse other than to just accept your fate. So that's why dodge is very important, because when you are sealed in this situation or you're caught with your tail between your legs, having an out would be very, very important. So maximum dodge, then balance additional. That is what I've done for this Golden Meta Cooler, and I think it has been very, very effective. I will be showing you guys a full diagram at the end, so don't worry about that. If you forget any of these, I will show you at the end. Dark King FU. This guy is a support unit, first and foremost, to me, so that is why combining his dodge that he gets from orb pickup with even more dodge makes him a better support. So I gave this unit maximum dodge, and then at that point, the question remains, how do you go from there? Do you go balance additional, balance critical? I would say the best way to go would be balance additional, because that way you can raise your defense even more. If you want to try to seal someone's super attack and your first attack isn't able to be a full-on super attack, that's the beauty of additional units. If you launch, like, you don't pick up enough ki, if you have enough additional, you could still end up getting that free super attack. So I think for units like this that have seal, you should always go for additional. Now for me, I didn't have additional skill orbs with dodge at the time because I used a bunch of them on other units. So this guy ended up getting critical and dodge skill orbs. So that's why you're going to see a little bit of a different setup. But trust me, max dodge, balance additional is the way to go for FU. Then we've got Toa. Toa is max dodge. She is a free-to-play support. She actually has some pretty good stats for a free-to-play unit. But again, she is a supporting unit, so I want her to support. She also has a medium chance to dodge built in. So if you combine that dodge with even more dodge, it just makes her longevity a little bit more consistent. She is a support that will rotate out of the rotation. So if you can give her a dodge, that will make her a heck of a lot more useful. So maximum dodge, balance, whatever you want. It could be additional, it could be critical, whatever you want. It don't matter. But max dodge does. Next, Dark Blue Vegeta, max dodge. This guy, unfortunately, is just not that great. His build is just ancient. It's not good. I hate saying negative things about Vegeta of all people, but this unit is just not that great. So I say go for maximum dodge, balance additional. That way you can salvage some super attack boosting, defense boosting. You can flesh out that passive a little bit more. Critical's already taken care of in the build. It also sucks that he's a tech unit because tech units get base 5 crit, which is not needed since he's already got a built-in medium chance for it. So that's a bummer. But yeah, max dodge, balance additional for the tech Dark Blue Vegeta. Then we've got the Crimson Masked Saiyan. This guy needs a little bit of everything. And I talked about this in my video. This guy has attack stacking before he transforms. So I want additional because I want to pad those stats. Because when he transforms, you can't stack the attack anymore permanently. It's only temporary. So I want him to have all of that attack that he can. I also want critical so that I can do more damage, because this guy has a potential to unleash maximum carnage on an enemy. With the right setup, with the right links, with the right units around him, he can do some stupid damage, and I want that. Imagine max critical along with multiple supers, both from the passive and your own hidden potential system. Imagine 3 super attacks, all crits. Imagine all of them doing like, I don't know, 12, 13 million damage. That's the life. But then the problem is this guy also lacks the defense. I mean, he has defense, but he also lacks it in his base form as he's trying to get up to the Super Saiyan 3 full power. This guy needs a little bit of help defensively. High chance to guard when he's not among crossover characters. When he is, he gets guard. That limits the team viability. So giving him dodge is also very useful. I would recommend you go for maximum dodge and then balance additional. But for me, I ended up doing maximum additional and then balance dodge, because that way I can kind of enjoy using the unit the way that I want to. I want to prioritize stacking and additionals because I am team additional. That's my thing. I love additionals. So I want to just utilize his additional more so. But again, maximum dodge, in my opinion, is the best way to go. Balance additional. Then we've got the Super Saiyan 4 Broly. Oh boy, this guy, I'm sure this is going to be a hot topic debate. My build for this guy is maximum dodge, balance additional. Simply put, this guy is not able to defend himself against lethal attacks. You either just accept that he cannot function on those attacks, on those events, and you don't bring him, or you bring him and you deal with the consequences. So I would say if you go for full dodge, even if you raise your defense 1,000,000 times each turn after 4 turns with no damage reduction and no other sort of means to protect yourself, that may not be enough. The defensive numbers may not be enough. So I'd say maximum dodge, balance additional. The critical, you are missing out on some, some nice crits here, but would you rather survive or would you rather dish out damage? For me, I would rather survive. So I chose that. That is my build for him. Feel free to let me know your agreements, your disagreement in the comments down below. Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegito. This unit is maximum additional balance dodge for me, because this unit has full critical taken care of in the passive. You lose some of the critical and some of the damage reduction that makes this unit such a great slot 1 after 6 turns. So some would say that maximum dodge is the way to go, but I would rather have as much fun with those 6 turns and with all of the damage and the defense that I have than compromise some of that with dodge. That's just my personal preference. So if you go full additional balance dodge, or you go full dodge balance additional, either way is acceptable. I'm sure more people will probably say full dodge, but me, I want to live on the edge, baby. Because with this and the Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Vegito together, there's such a stacked out combination. I don't care about consequences. I just care about destroying everything. So that's why I go full additional and balance dodge. Up next, we got Lags, max dodge, balance additional. Next question. Deborah, he's a super battle road unit. He just is a temporary defense booster. He doesn't really do anything for like marquee challenge events. He's more suitable for super battle road and things like that. He's a max additional, balance critical kind of unit. I don't even care about dodge on the guy because I'm not going to put him in a situation where he has to face a cataclysmic attack. So max additional, balance critical. We got Mira. This guy's a defensive stacker, a permanent defensive stacker. So in the interest of, succeeding on long form events, I am giving this unit maximum additional. The rest doesn't matter. You can throw in some dodge. You can throw in some crit, whatever you want. Dark Masked King. This guy is a vampire. He will drain the health and take it for himself. This unit is actually very effective. He's actually got surprisingly resilient defense when you combine the extra defense that he gets upon receiving an attack, the extra attack that he gets from receiving an attack, the defense and the full guard that he gets from having a hero's character on the team. If you give him a max critical build, you can do a ton of damage and heal a ton of health. It has been very, very useful for me. This is actually a very useful move on the burst mode run that I did to hit like 6,500 points. This unit is a full critical build through and through. Very, very easy to build that unit. Next, we've got Crimson Masked Saiyan, Black Masked Saiyan. This guy kind of suffers from the same situation as the Demon God Deborah. Not really built for like marquee events, no guard, no damage reduction, no defensive maneuvering. He just has a little bit of crit in there, and he temporarily raises attack and defense. That's about it. So he's kind of like a super battle road unit. I don't really care about running this guy on the marquee stuff, so I gave him max additional, and then I put balance dodge. You could probably go balance dodge if you want, but that's if you're going to be running this guy more often. I'm not, so I choose not to. And then we've got the Demigra, which is a couple more left. We got physical Demigra. He's a support, so he's maximum dodge, balance additional. But the additional is for stacking his attack and defense if the dodge fails. Then we've got Super Saiyan 4 Broly. This guy, he's actually really fun to use. He can do a lot of damage and he can use a lot of attacks. So I actually built him for maximum additional and balance critical. I have said forget it with the dodge because this guy is not going to survive major events. He's just not going to do it. That's not how he's built. I'd rather just have fun with the unit. So while this guy is in slot 1 launching a bunch of attacks left and right, I would probably have the Limit Break Super Saiyan 4 Broly in the slot 2, you know, trying to just get by. But yeah, this guy actually can do a good amount of damage. He can get some good momentum going, but even with like 4 supers under his belt, it's still not enough to survive cataclysmic attacks. I just said forget it. Max additional balance critical is what I did. If you want to go max additional balance dodge or max dodge balance additional, that works because he does have a built-in critical 5. So if you give him full dodge, you've got some of the additionals already in his passive, and you can give him a little bit more with the balance additional that you get. Last two, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. This guy is a full critical build for me. I went maximum critical, balance additional. This unit is a slot 2 unit. This unit is not needed in slot 1 with the LR AGL Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4. So for me, I have given this unit a maximum critical build to capitalize on the counters if we do get them. Also, I want to focus on the balanced additionals because if you can greatly raise defense twice and you combine that with a 5% damage reduction times 7, that gives you a pretty substantial tanking ability in the slot 2. This does mean that if he does get supered with an AoE in slot 2, we could take some nasty damage, but you know what? I'm going to deal with the consequences because I don't care. I want to have fun. I love dodge, but I'm not going to put dodge on everything. And then the last unit is my girl, Freaky Toa. She is a fantastic support unit. She can support anybody on any team. She doesn't have to be on a hero's team. She should be a maximum dodge unit because she has a high chance to dodge. And she also has stat growth that happens every time she dodges. Granted, it's only 3 times, but the sooner that you can get it, the more resilient that she can actually be as a frontline unit. She actually has the numbers to put up frontline stats, both offensively and defensively. So maximum dodge for this unit. Thankfully, she's int. That makes the process a lot easier because you can go full 32 on the dodge. So that clears all of the hidden potential builds for me. Here is the summary for how I've built up these characters. Feel free to screen capture them if you want. This is also on my Twitter. If you want to go check me out over on Twitter, follow me. Link is in the description. This is my build for all of the heroes units, and I'm sticking to them. I don't think that there's anything that I would change except for maybe Broly just a little bit, I guess. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's any one unit that I would feel differently about. I think that I'm pretty set with how everybody's built. My favorite ones would definitely be the TOA, and I would say probably the main, the top 2 headliner heroes units. Actually, I'm very proud of the free-to-play TOA too. Free-to-play TOA and FU having full dodge is pretty great. So yeah, I am very excited to run these units even more. I love heroes. What can I say? Hopefully this helped you guys out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with any of my takes on the hidden potential builds. Why not? I'm guessing it's probably going to be Broly and Rose that people have the most to disagree about. But let me know what you guys think about those hidden potential builds, your own recommendations in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know if you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.